It's time now for Countywide, a special presentation of Yavapai Broadcasting News. Join Paul David and Brad Miller as they talk with our community's leaders, newsmakers, and people in the know. You'll hear about the hot topics that affect all our lives here in Yavapai County. And now, here's today's Countywide.
Brad Miller with you for Countywide today, and we're happy to welcome into studio a guest that we have chatted with many, many times. Ann Harrington is here, and it is Dogtoberfest time again. You just bring this whirlwind of energy in about a 65, 70-pound Catahoula named Bernie.
Leopard dog. Bernie, he's down there complaining right now because we didn't get here early enough for the crew to play Frisbee with him, which is his
Frisbee time.
Yeah.
Bernie the Wonder Dog is here, goes everywhere with Ann, and is today here to help us talk about and learn a little bit more again about Dogtoberfest, returning to the Prescott Downtown Courthouse Square on October 6th, 10 to 4, and this is such a great event. Such a big event, such a fun event. You just have, every year is a home run.
Thank you.
And don't have any doubts that, again, that'll be the case this year. Yavapai Broadcasting, so proud to be a part of this, and we'll be there again, but I think everybody and their dog will be there.
I think so.
Can't we almost literally say that?
I think so. We already hear from people about, what are we doing this year? What are we doing? The vaccinations, which we do every year, low-cost vaccinations and microchipping, and we are doing that again, courtesy of Chino Valley Animal Hospital.
For the uninitiated, let's just, in the 1-minute presentation, tell folks what is Dogtoberfest, how long you been at it, and why do you do it?
Well, my background actually is in animal welfare since 1997 when I made my first trip to a shelter as an adult. And I adopted a dog, and I walked out with tears in my eyes because there were so many left behind. And yes, Bernie's over here complaining this morning because he didn't get his Frisbee time with the crew. But anyway... and it really changed the course of my life. I have a background in media, radio, and TV for many years, and we used to put on these big events for car dealers and home builders and different people to get people to come on their property. And after I had that experience, I thought, why don't we do something to get these animals adopted?
Sure.
And so that's how I created the offsite adoption event, which is now become Dogtoberfest here in Prescott.
And how many, this is what?
7. This is our 7th year.
Gosh, already.
I know, I can't believe it either.
Well, it started at a run. I mean, it really, from the get-go, and it's easy for me to say, you live with it and deal with it and put it together, so it's done so well that by the time we roll up, it looks like, oh, this is just easy and great, and I know it's not.
I know.
And I know you don't do it all by yourself, and I know you'll talk about it, a lot of the folks that help kind of bring this together. But Ann, this is a different year for our community, and I know that the Dogtoberfest this year will be a very special one. Tell me what some of those...
Well, this year we founded a nonprofit organization, kind of works in tandem with Prescott Dog and a lot of what we do. The mission that we have in the Prescott Dog is raising awareness of shelter and rescue animals, and also promoting the human-animal bond, which we know is very strong, that animals do so much in our lives. And so we founded Big Dog Charitable Foundation. It's a nonprofit, a 501c3 nonprofit. And what happened this year, of course, so different, that changed all of our lives, is the horrible fire. Well, 2 fires, but the second one, of course, was very tragic in Yarnell. And so we worked with some of the folks down in Yarnell. We had a lot of communication going on. We worked with Animal Disaster Services. Bernie.
Don't worry about him.
He's just complaining.
He'll get his Frisbee time
I know, after the show. Hopefully he won't whine through the whole thing. But anyway, so we were working with Animal Disaster Services, trying to get volunteers there, very much in touch with everybody that helps in the time of a disaster. And of course, we had the tragedy with all of our hot shots, which was just terrible. So it kind of felt like the world stopped for a little bit for everyone in our area, as you know. And so we kind of waited to see what was going on. And of course, we saw so many fundraisers and things going on for the firefighters' families, which they totally deserve. And then, but we said, hey, we're the Prescott Dog, and we help animals, so what can we do? And in talking to the Yarnell Hill Recovery Group and my friend Kim Lytle down at PD's Playground, which is a rescue down right next door to them, they knew everything, they were involved in everything going on there. I decided to put together a walk for Yarnell animals, for the animals that were affected. And called in our friends at the K9 unit, who came out and led the charge for the walk. we probably had over 100 and something people, and also the Arizona Sun Dogs came out, brought their people. It was just such a great time. You know, this community never ceases to amaze me.
Yeah.
And people just come together and they help, and they're a part of everything. And it was just a beautiful, beautiful walk. Streets in New York in Prescott hosted it, which is close to downtown, so we all met there. And we got sponsors. We debated doing things, selling things to try to raise more money. So we got sponsors to do these T-shirts for us. We got pink and blue ones that says Walk for Yarnell Animals, and it says I support Yarnell Fire Animals. So really anybody can wear them. Right. And then we had another sponsor to support these first aid kits for dogs, which are every dog should have one in their car or their person's car.
Yeah.
And then we did these little wristbands here that says I support Yarnell Animals. And so what we're doing this year in Dogtoberfest is we're going to be selling all these items. We still have some left. And so we're going to try and sell them. And then our cover this issue is really devoted to Yarnell, as are some of the other stories.
Right.
And on the cover of this issue is Kim Lytle from Petey's Playground and Petey. And they're going to be at the event this year at our booth and helping us sell some of these things again in support. So we've raised already close to $7,000.
Great.
And what's really great for me is a lot of times you raise money and you don't really see the end of it or where it goes. But we're actually, through Big Dog Charitable Foundation, we're actually fielding all the requests for funding. And I get to write the checks.
Uh-huh.
So it's awesome, and we're already doing that. So it's really a great feeling.
What is kind of we've, and will again next week, frankly, have some of the folks from Yarnell Hill Recovery come and talk with us. And we've talked about a number of things. We'll continue to do that. I don't know that we've talked about animal impact.
Right.
I know even the Dosey fire with horses and whatnot. And I know that there's a lot of folks. It just kind of turns you on your ear when you think about all the people that are involved with helping with those kinds of things.
Right,
I mean, you know, getting yourself out of the way is one thing. Getting your horses and your dog. Oh my gosh.
Right.
What an undertaking.
Well, and again, when I saw the impact of all that, because again, we were in touch, and the story, this issue, the Prescott Dog, which you can also read online, prescottdog.com, but is about all of that. The emergency groups that came in and I'm sorry.
This dog
he cracks me up.
For our TV...
he's just like, you know, okay, throw the Frisbee. There.
Our TV viewers can get his antics. The radio listeners are getting a little sound, but Bernie steals every show that he's in. And what a great ambassador.
Yes, he is.
For what you're talking about and for this event and for the Prescott Dog. I mean, he couldn't do his job any better. Let's pause for a minute. We do need to take a little break, so let's do that. We'll come back. Lots more to talk about Dogtoberfest. We've barely touched on the event itself. More with Ann Harrington and Bernie the Wonder Dog when we come back.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
We got the spirit. We're hot. We can't be stopped. We got the spirit. We're hot. We can't be stopped. We're going to beat them and bust them.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life.
Let's get a little bit rowdy. R-O-W-D-Y.
Take time to be a dad today. Call or visit fatherhood.gov to learn more.
Body language can tell you all sorts of things. Like someone is having a stroke. Know the sudden signs. Learn fast. Face drooping, arm weakness, speech difficulty. Time to call 911 and get them to a hospital immediately. learn the body language, and spot a stroke fast.
And we welcome you back to the program. Oh, there we go. Little frisbee with Bernie in our break time. Yeah, your buddy. All right, Ann Harrington is here. This dog, do you ever get jealous? He takes the attention away from you.
No, I'm used to it. I mean, everywhere we go, oh, hey, is that Bernie? Bernie, come here. You know?
He's
Yeah,
well
it's all
known,
right.
and
Yeah.
as is the Dogtoberfest event. I think I interrupted you a minute ago. If not, we can continue on, but we had to take our break there. And so it sounds like this is a terrific cause. A lot has been good has been done already.
Yes,
but
yes.
folks can still be part of this event.
They can.
With the T-shirt sales.
Well, that's what's really special about Dogtoberfest for me this year. I mean, we have a lot of great things going on, as always, and it's just a wonderful thing that's my passion, my heart,
right.
that plays along with the magazine and everything we do there. But Yarnell, you know, when we did this event, we had the Yarnell Recovery Group come down, and Dr. Kate, who's the vet down there, who took in umpteen, I don't know how many animals and cared for them at her own expense. And then, you know, Kim Lytle at Petey's Playground. Well, I just can't say enough about that lady.
Yeah.
She's amazing, and she's been our conduit, you know, with people that need help and everything. And so she's going to be there as well. But, you know, I told them at that event, this is not the end for us. It's not a one-time deal, a walk, and then, hey, we forget about you, because we know it's going to take a long time for them to rebuild. Actually, they estimated, you know, 2 years for rebuilding.
Sure.
And so when I get a request from somebody that says, my house burned down, I have 2 Chihuahuas, and, you know, they're basically coyote bait, you know, we need a fence, we need an enclosure, like a kennel type thing, I can write a check for that. And that makes me feel so good. Or, you know, an animal that they didn't realize it at the time, but when the dogs got into the ashes and started, you know, dogs eat things, and they got very sick, they need to go to the vet. And
I think here again, when we've talked with folks from Yarnell Hill and others, you know, it's like anything, and this one locally was bigger than any.
Yeah.
But you just, no matter how close you are to something, as time goes by, you kind of forget that the struggle is continuing out there.
Yeah.
And like you said, like building the fence.
Yeah.
And, you know, and you think, well, a home was lost, a home gets rebuilt. You just don't think about that. What you had is gone.
Right.
No matter what gets rebuilt, even if it's the exact same, it's different. And, and that kind of emotional piece of it, I think, is what has touched so many of us.
Right.
And that continues for a lifetime. That never ends.
Right. Well, the trauma, I can't even imagine the trauma part of your whole house burning down, or, you know, something like that. It's just that I can't, you know, even figure out. But if we can do a little bit to help them pay their vet bill, get them a fenced enclosure,
it's
a little
as important
kennel,
as anything.
It just makes me feel good. I mean, I had this lady, you know, call yesterday just before I was heading out this way, because I stayed here overnight in Sedona. You know, she said, you know, I need this kennel for my Chihuahuas, and, you know, her house completely burned down, and she needed something to close them in, and she said, well, I don't know if you can do the whole thing. You know, it's like $300-something. We'll do the whole thing.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like, I mean, to someone like that, I mean, I know I've been there in my life, you know, where it's like you just can't afford to do it. And I can say, no, we can get that kennel for you, write the check, you know, and maybe it just makes them go, you know, thank God.
One
you know,
less
just
thing they've got to contend with.
To them, it's like the world, and it just makes me feel so good that I get to see this part of that fundraising event, and all the work and time and all the volunteers that help pull it. We pull that event together in 3 weeks. So to be able to do that and now be able to see what the needs are and literally take care of them is just a blessing in my life, you know. And it just makes you realize how lucky we all are. You know, you got to stay in a place of gratitude always. And
I'm sorry to sound distracted. I got some hot breath over here.
Yeah, I know. Bernie, come over here, buddy. Lay down.
Crazy
We're going to play after.
Let's talk a little bit about Dogtoberfest itself then. Again, for our listeners, our viewers, Sunday, October 6th, right downtown. Just it's such a great venue for so many different events, and Dogtoberfest is another. Now in its 7th year, 10 o'clock to 4 o'clock. Now that's a Sunday.
Right.
Sunday afternoon's been your time for this.
It's always on a Sunday. People think, you know, the big events are on Saturday, whatever, but we do Sunday, and we do it primarily, and I've done this for years, is because the veterinarians are open on Saturday. So they can't attend, you know, and man their booth and be there and be a part of it. So we do it on Sundays. So it's always worked out really, really well, and it's a little later. It starts at 10. So if you go to church, you want to go to church in the morning and early, and then come over. That's great. So
spend the day. Tell us a little bit about some of the things that'll be happening on. Our own Brad Roberts will be there, doing his thing,
hosting it.
Yeah. So there's a lot of fun. There's activities on stage, games, fun stuff. Tell us about some of that.
Right. Well, we have our contests, our pet contests.
Those are always a hit.
And they're a hoot, and we get like 50-something people. Pardon me, I'm gonna throw the frisbee while we're talking. He's bugging me over here. We have all the contests again. The best trick, Jabernie. The best trick. We've got costume contests. We got pet owner look-alike.
That's a fun one.
Ugliest dog, yes.
That is such a fun one.
We get so many entries. We get like 50 entries in each one, and so because. Hey, there's big prizes. We get trophies for first, second, and third, donated by Raskin's Jewelers downtown. Greg's just an awesome guy, big animal lover, and he donates those every year. So we have actual trophies you can win, and then we have prize packs that go along for every winner. So you get that. So that's really an awesome deal. So we've got that going on different times throughout the day, and then we've got a demonstration area that's also going along throughout the day, and we've got the police canine unit comes out. We've got trainers. Jerry Holton from Farb and Holt Dog Training will be out there again with her protection dogs doing a demo, and obedience, that kind of thing. And this year we've got the Phoenix area disc dogs coming out. That is going to do Hello Bernie, a disc dog demonstration. That's the frisbees. And you actually, it's interactive. You actually get to come in and try your dog, and they're going to show you how to play frisbee with your dog.
Really?
Yeah, because when people see Bernie, and they ask me, well, how do you get him to come back? And how do you, and my dog won't go get it, and they won't come back and all that. So they're going to talk about that and show you that. They're going to also do a demonstration, but they're also going to show you how you can play with your dog.
Which is such a big, that's one of the things that I've always been impressed with at Dogtoberfest, and I've attended many of them, is whatever your needs. If you already own a pet and you're looking for veterinary care, if you're looking for supplements, maybe say an older dog, if you haven't adopted yet, everybody who's anywhere in the big pet realm, if you will, talking dogs, this is your place. Whether you're have dogs already or thinking about it, all of those folks will find something to help their situation.
And we've got a lot of pet food companies that come out. We've actually got the GMO thing is really big right now, feeding GMO-free foods. That's genetically modified organisms, which a lot of our foods are nowadays, and not only for people, but for dogs now we're finding out how important that is. So actually GMO-free Prescott will be there talking about that. We have holistic vets, Dr. Todd Metcalf over at Harmony Veterinary Care, treated my dog Harley that I had before Bernie, who kind of was the reason I started the magazine after I lost him. But there's now so many things for animals. He does acupuncture and acupressure and Chinese herbs, and we're just finding out so many things now that help animals. And Olson's Grain will be there again with their, they'll be doing pet tags, and you can weigh your dog. Actually, Jerry Holton is going to be doing the CGC certification. That's Canine Good Citizenship, which Bernie has. He's not really showing it right now with the frisbees, but that's a way you can, it actually is like basic training for your dog. And you can be certified for it and get a certification. So your dog has to pass some tests. But anyway, she'll be doing the testing, and she'll be there. And then we've got, of course, Arizona Agribusiness and Equine Center High School. They've been a title sponsor for years. And they're bringing out their they got a big truck and trailer. I want to see it. It's something new they have now, and I haven't even seen it yet, but that's going to be there. And then Windermere Real Estate joined us this year as also another big title sponsor. So they'll be there with their people, and they're very excited. They're very pet friendly. You talk about these sponsors and these folks that are behind this in whatever form it is, and it's like a microcosm of Prescott itself. The business community. There's so many different people that you think, well, how are they even connected to dogs, cats, birds, and animals? And it's just the love they share for probably their own pets at home. Yeah, they love them, but let's face it, almost every household has a dog, cat, both, or even other animals. So it's kind of like a Prescott dog. People say to me sometimes, when maybe I'll be talking to somebody, and they'll go, and they're not dog related in terms of a business, and they'll say, well, why should I, I'm not a dog quote business, why should I advertise in the Prescott Dog? And I'm like, well, dogs don't don't read it.
That's right.
People do, and people have a lot of pets, and this is a great place for you to be. And not only is it good for you to just be there, and of course you're advertising your business, but you're supporting animal welfare.
You bet.
So.
And we need to take a little break. Let's do that. We'll pause for just a moment. We'll come back. Pause. Get it? Pause. P-A-W. Pause. Okay.
Got it. Good one.
We'll pause for just a second. Ann Harrington and Bernie back on the Countywide program after this.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
We got the spirit. We're hot. We can't be stopped. We got the spirit. We're hot. We can't be stopped. We're gonna beat them and bust them.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life.
Let's get a little bit rowdy. R-O-W-D-Y.
Take time to be a dad today. Call or visit fatherhood.gov to learn more.
Body language can tell you all sorts of things. Like someone is having a stroke. Know the sudden signs. Learn fast. Face drooping, arm weakness, speech difficulty. Time to call 911 and get them to a hospital immediately. Learn the body language and spot a stroke fast.
Welcome back to the program, and for our TV viewers, there he is, Bernie. Therapy dog. Is this a writer? He's a columnist and
yes.
A dog of many talents, and one of those will be to help co-host, along with Ann and her many sponsors, the Dogtoberfest and Adopt-a-thon. Now, I don't know if we've talked enough about adoptions.
Right, we really haven't.
But there's a lot.
Yeah.
Low-cost vaccinations, a lot of things.
Yeah, we're doing low-cost vaccinations, which again is another really important thing to care for your dog. So we've got, we're going to be doing low-cost vaccinations and microchipping.
Yep.
That'll be inexpensive. You can bring your pet and have that done. And then the big thing and the whole thing for me really is the adopt-a-thon aspect of this.
Right.
That's why I do it.
Yeah.
All the other stuff's a lot of fun, but for me, I want to get dogs adopted. So we work with we have many shelter and rescue groups out during the day with their animals for adoption. So we've got United Animal Friends, Yavapai Humane Society. We've got the Arizona Border Collies come in. The Greyhounds are there every year. Rescue a Golden. We've got Circle L Ranch. We've got so many different groups that have animals that come for adoption.
If you're thinking about adoption, this is the place to be.
This is the place where you can come and see all breeds, all kinds of dogs that you might be, interested in, because we've got the individual breed rescues, and then we've got the shelter that has a combination of many.
Something
young, old, it doesn't matter. There's everything there, so you can actually go through, meet some animals, bring your dog, see if they get along. It's in a nice environment.
And I'm sorry, but in dog years, our time is up.
Darn.
It goes faster when we're doing the show in dog minutes rather than regular minutes. The best way to do it, Ann's here to tell us about it. The best way to do it, you can catch it on the radio on our Yavapai broadcasting stations. The best way is to be there. Again, Prescott Downtown Square, Sunday, October 6th, 10 to 4. It is Dogtoberfest, and we do hope to see you there for all of the reasons and many more that Ann has talked about. On behalf of Ann Harrington and Bernie, the Wonder Dog, we thank you for joining us. It's Countywide, and we'll see you next time.
This has been County-Wide, a special presentation of Yavapai Broadcasting News. Listen in each Tuesday and Thursday as we tackle the hot topics and talk to the decision makers across Yavapai County. That's County-Wide with Brad Miller and Paul David each Tuesday and Thursday on this Yavapai Broadcasting station.